said bullshit and experience is all it takes, right?
Man.
Come on and experience some of my bullshit.
Before I get started today, I'd like to kindly ask that you hit that like button and leave a comment down below and let me know what your favorite sitcom segment has been so far on Wandavision. And as always, please subscribe to the channel for more content just like this.
Pretty please, with sugar on top.
So this week's episode started off with a more modern sitcom presentation, complete with these fourth wall breaking interview sessions that are kind of like The Office or Modern Family. At least I think Modern Family has those. I'm not really sure, to be honest. I don't watch sitcoms. Anyway, when we catch up to Wanda, she's feeling a little bit of remorse for her expanding the hex last week. And honestly, at this point in the episode, I was like, well, she should feel bad. She's noticing that the world around her is kind of glitching out and there's nothing that she can do to fix it. This is the first hint in this episode that things might not quite be what they seem. Vision wakes up after his little escape attempt and he's surrounded by this traveling circus of people.
Blimey. I thought I smelled cabbage.
And this group is made up of all the people who were recently absorbed into the hex last week. Yes, that includes Boobs McGee. Sorry, Darcy, don't cancel me. Wanda denies that the Quicksilver that we all saw was not really her brother. Plus, it should be noted that he was not featured in tonight's episode. I had to go back and re-record this part because upon further investigation, I realized that there actually was an end credit sequence that I missed. And it features Monica sneaking around the house and she opens the basement doors from the outside and she's about to go into the basement and Quicksilver shows up and basically says, Snooper's gonna snoop. So now I'm rethinking my theory that he is some kind of manifestation created to distract Wanda because he might in fact be a real person at this point. I don't know what's going on, but back to the regular review. So this is kind of hint number 2 that something might be off and things might be getting manipulated a little bit. I liked how they used the worn out housewife storyline that you see in a lot of sitcoms to kind of explain Wanda's mental state in this episode. There's even a fake commercial for an antidepressant. That was a nice touch. Monica, meanwhile, is trying to re-enter the hex using this space vehicle and she puts on a spacesuit. Did anyone else get strong Fantastic Four vibes from this?
Now picture that. But everywhere.
Maybe it was just me, it could be a reference, or it could be nothing. Regardless, the vehicle doesn't work and she ends up just walking into the hex herself. I'm assuming her newly acquired abilities that she gained through entering and exiting the hex from before allowed her to enter into it this time without being scathed. Vision does his little mind wipe thing to Darcy, and this did raise a question for me. Why did Darcy stay out of the trance after he mind wiped her? In every previous time that he's done that to someone, when he's finished talking to them, they go right back under Wanda's control. Basically, I'm asking, how did she stay woke? Maybe that was a bad choice of words. Darcy does end up telling Vision how he died, and she kind of reassures him that him and Wanda do belong together. They do truly love each other. Even though you can understand why he would have some doubts about that, given the current circumstance. So Monica confronts Wanda. She's basically trying to talk some sense into her at this point. She tells Wanda to not let Hayward turn her into a villain, and Wanda responds that maybe she already is the villain. This kind of reinforces what I was talking about last week, where I was starting to kind of identify with Hayward's way of thinking. Just when it looks like Monica might break through to her, the annoying neighbor Agnes shows up and kind of runs interference. She starts taking Wanda's side and taking her away from Monica, and this was pretty much the biggest clue of the night, that Wanda was kind of being manipulated by someone. It's pretty clear at this point that she is not in complete control. Otherwise, she would be controlling exactly how Agnes interacted with people.
That makes sense.
That's because a few minutes later we find out that Agnes is actually Agatha Harkness. Now, I had to Google this character because I'm not exactly up on all these more obscure Marvel characters. It turns out that from the comics, she was one of the original witches in the Salem witch trials. So basically, she's this magical being that's been pulling the strings behind the scenes this whole time throughout the course of Wandavision. This is even explained to us further through her own little sitcom theme song. This whole time, I was pretty much predicting, like everyone else, that someone else was pulling the strings here. But I gotta be honest, I kind of thought it would be a more substantial character than this. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for giving smaller characters some spotlight, and it is possible that Agatha's inclusion is going to lead to Mephisto being included in this story. And for those that don't know, he's basically Marvel Comics' version of the devil. We shall see, but I do appreciate the fact that this show is on a bit of a hot streak as it pertains to adding new layers to this story each and every week. They managed to answer some questions while raising new ones. I'd have to say episode 7 is another solid episode. I'm enjoying how they're blending all these tones and genres in this show and kind of making it a unique experience. So if you've seen episode 7, let me know what you think about it in the comments down below. As always, please like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell for notifications, and I'll see you next time right here on Real Shift. Thanks for watching. Peace out.
Y'all be cool. Right on.